my hair is supposed to look like. Hope you're having yourselves a merry little whatever, because at this point, I can't name a specific holiday without getting shit on the internet, despite the fact that I myself am an atheist. Christmas is a weird holiday, and I don't mean that in the 14-year-old girl way. Oh, we celebrate the birthday of a 2,000-year-old guy who cursed a fig tree for not giving him fruit when he wanted to. That's actually in the Bible, by the way. It's in the book of Matthew. I can't remember chapter and verse right now, but it's right here. Now, I'm talking more about the fact that we bring non-hibernating foliage into our houses and decorate them with tinsel, despite the fact that they are one of the few trees that can actually survive in the cold of winter. Or I guess in my case, it's more like the meh of a slightly colder summer since I live in Hawaii. If you needed an explanation for that, that's why. Aloha, I guess. And fuck, what's Hawaiian for Merry Christmas? Mele Kali. Fuck it. Merry Christmas, everybody. But in all seriousness, there was a girl in my class group chat the other day who went off on this whole rant about how Christmas has slowly started turning into a pagan thing and that we're not really celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ anymore, but like, story for another day. And I was originally gonna make a video about how Christmas is actually a collection of random pagan holidays from all around Europe that were kind of consolidated and combined into its own thing, and how Christmas was actually banned for about 25 years when the Puritans came to the Massachusetts Bay Colony because it was considered pagan. And while it may be true that Christmas kind of originated from Saturnalia and the Yule holidays and all that kind of stuff, as per usual, the batshit insane things that I found during my research were way more interesting than the Romans worshipping some god of whatever or other. So, without further ado, let's talk about the gavel goat. The gavel goat? The gavel goat. The gavel goat? The gavel goat. Do you know the gavel goat? The gavel goat. The gavel goat. Guys, focus. The gavel goat. The gavel goat is a Yuletide tradition from Fennoscandia, which is a word for Scandinavia plus Finland that only the nerdiest of geography nerds will ever use. Fennoscandia. Goats are actually really important in Norse myths, not just because they look like they were cursed to a mountainous existence for their evil, evil eyes. According to Fenno-Scandinavian folklore, Thor, yes, that Thor, has a chariot that's pulled by two goats named, this and that. Christmas trees also originate from that region, so the gavel goat was originally just a tiny little wooden goat that you'd have as one of your ornaments. But in 1966, the town of Gävle in Sweden thought it was a good idea to erect a 13-meter, that's 43-foot statue of a goat in Castle Square. And then it got burned down. One of the many times the goat was razed to the ground, actually. In fact, the majority of the times the goat has been erected, it's been burned, smashed, and just generally destroyed in every manner possible. This goat has been destroyed so many times that the town of Gävle has made destroying the gavel goat its own separate offense within the city's legal code, usually entailing 3 months in jail and a fine. So that's fun. Let's see, so the goat tradition started in 1966, so let's take a quick look at the timeline here. 1966, destroyed, method of destruction, fire. Survived the next couple of years, fire, smashed to pieces, collapses, stolen, fire, collapse, hit by a car, fire, kicked to pieces, fire, and broken, fire. Oh, it survived in 1981. Let's see, fire, legs destroyed, fire, survived. Fire/fire, Wikipedia needs to look into their shit. It survived in 1990, and then there was another fire/fire, whatever the hell that means. 2 years of survival in a row. Wow. Burned again, survived with damage. That's an improvement. Fire, survived. Fire, survived all of 2010. Wow. Fire, survived in 2014, fire, survived 2017, survived 2018, and survived 2019. Wow, so we're on a 3-year streak at the moment. Imagine being a kid that lives near that square. You wake up on Christmas morning, it's a cold Swedish winter, you have a Swedish meatball in one hand, you have your cutie pie G Fuel in the other, you look out the window, there's smoke everywhere, and you call out saying, "Mom! The goat is burning again!"
You do realize that the two of us could play these parts, you know, for the sake of the skit.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a pass on that.
Oh, come on. It would be a good bit.
Do y'all even remember what happened the last time we tried that? Do you?
But that was a little... We read your script, didn't like it, started editorializing, and ended up breaking your tripod in our disagreement, as it were.
Exactly. So let's hold off for now, because, you know, I don't want to have to break y'all's noses again. What were we talking about again? Oh, yeah, right. Vandalism. But beyond the gavel goat, it's not just the Swedish that have an internal and innate desire to defame spiritual symbols. Case in point, the Kaganer. El Kaganer literally translates to the pooper in several southwestern European languages, I believe. So that's French, Spanish, Italian, Portuguese. And it's exactly what it sounds like. And I do mean exactly. It is literally just a statue of a naked man taking a shit during the nativity scene. Apparently, some artist in like the 17th or 18th century thought it was a good idea because it made the manger look poor or something like that. You see, a common misconception about Christianity was that Christ was the first person on earth ever to claim that he was the Son of God. That's not true. A lot of nobles in France, England, even the Roman Empire claimed that they were descended from God. What made Christ special was because he was a commoner. And that's why in Christianity there's a lot of emphasis on Christ being the helper of the weak and the needy and the poor and things like that. But history lesson aside, today the Kaganer is mostly seen as a joke, as I would hope, because I'm scared of human beings who take that shit seriously. They still do this in parts of France, Corsica, Spain, Italy, I think Switzerland and Germany too. What they'll do is they'll have the adults take the little figure and hide it somewhere surrounding the nativity, never actually inside the stable, because it's supposed to be one of those atmospheric pieces in the same way that like the chickens or the hay. Comparing a homeless man to chickens and hay. Great job, Ash. Great job. So most of the time nowadays, the adults will go around trying to hide the Kaganer somewhere around the nativity so that the kids can go around and try to find the Kaganer pooping in the bush. All goes well until you do your middle school nativity play and you realize that the Kaganer is also a character in that. I mean, you really gotta give it to the Baroque period for all of its art stuff. I mean, you've got the music of Bach and Telemon, you've got the paintings of Michelangelo, and then of course you have the pooper. But of course, that's not all. It never is. That's not even the most insane thing I could find from Italy. Case in point, the basilisk.
I mean, after the Kaganer, I don't even really understand what could possibly be more. Holy shit! What the fuck is that thing? Oh, please. Nothing can be stranger than Holy Beauty Pie's left nipple. What in the name of Marzia's unholy creations is that?
That, my friends, is the basilisk. A mythical creature from the village of Valcamonica, Italy, in the southern Alps, which is usually portrayed as, well... Okay, so apparently that questionable shit on its face that looks like something your furry cousin would wear is a goat skin. The basilisk ritual usually starts with 4 people luring the basilisk out of the woods. These people traditionally called the old man, the young man, the old woman, and El Señorita, who is supposed to be bait for the creature's animalistic lust. I have no idea whether she wanted to fuck that thing or that guy wanted to fuck her in a goat fursuit. Jesus, that is a sentence that has come out of my mouth.
Honestly, if it's that old of a tradition, then I'm guessing it's a little bit of both.
Yeah.
I mean, after the pooper, is that even surprising? Yes, literal defecation at the sight of the birth of a false god that tries to impersonate our Lord PewDiePie. This really is nothing compared to that, is it?
I would argue that both of those things are equally insane because they've kind of hit the maximum threshold for crazy Christmas crap. But right, that thing. I feel like it's watching me. A basilisk ritual started when a quartet of hunters goes into the woods and comes out with a creature creature with a rope around its neck. This, by the way, is where the young woman comes in, literally ancient catfishing. Well, except that there's no cat, no fish, and that thing has horns. Well, different kinds of horns. The creature itself is supposed to be characterized as stupid, but also constantly watching over the community throughout the year. So it has a person called its interpreter that reads out its list of all the community's misdeeds. All in rhyme, of course. Why wouldn't it be? It does a little dance, and apparently the townspeople sometimes join in what I can only imagine to look like a primitive BTS concert. The whole debacle lasts about 3 hours before the feast is started. A lavish celebration is thrown, usually featuring the Basilisk as a guest of honor, essentially just awarding it a huge dinner for roasting the shit out of everybody. Then the Basilisk goes around town, burns shit, gossips for a little bit, and just generally is a dick before returning to the woods in all of its goat-skinned glory. So yeah, Christmas is really fucking weird! Again, these are all a collection of different traditions that all happen roughly around winter solstice that are now typically considered to be Christmas related. The Basilisk Feast, for example, happens on the day of Epiphany, which is when Jesus Christ was first baptized, and that is their excuse for continuing to celebrate it. They were all made independently of one another, presumably just to make the cold European winters just that little bit more bearable. But hey,
That's just a theory! A game theory!
no! You're ruining my outro! But hey, at least we get presents and trees along with poopers and freaks of nature. Or freaks of humanity, I guess. Equal opportunity freakage for all. But anyway, thank you all for watching this video. I sincerely do hope you enjoyed it despite how batshit insane it was. If you did like it, please like and subscribe if you want to see more. And please, 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 if you want to support me, share these videos around with your friends because the YouTube algorithm really hates small channels like mine and it's really the only way I can grow at this point. But until next time, this is me, Ash, signing off.